Okay, welcome to the small print. I'm Michael and Maha is here today. And we are super excited about the next installment of the small print. After coming into or completing the code for not enough, this week we're going to look at awe and the significance of that structure. So who would like to kick us off with a feeling word and checking in?
Hello, I am Anna and I am enthusiastic.
Yay.
Nice.
Daniel, and I'm glimmering.
Mm.
You're on mute, Sarah.
Thank you. I'm Sarah and I'm simmering.
Michael, I'm present.
Amanda, I'm numb.
Oh,
Aha. I'm uncomfortable.
And Emily will not be with us. I started to announce it a moment ago. Emily is celebrating birthday and is with us in spirit. So
Happy birthday,
Happy
Emily. Yay.
all right, Maha.
I love that. That's beautiful, Sarah. Let's see. I'm going to do that too. Huh? Didn't do that on my side, but okay. All right. So, let's let the show begin. Okay.
And Susie joined
Susie.
if you wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Susie, welcome. Do you have a feeling word for us, dear Angel?
Ooh, feeling word. Grateful.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So we're just starting, and we are starting with this page that takes us through everything we've seen in the equation of enough, which was this movement, the movement of beloved, which goes up as an emergence. And it goes from the solid code from which we deduce an instrument of knowledge. So, for example, from ether, black ether comes voice, and from the instrument of knowledge comes an archetype, in this case, great ingenue, and from the archetype, a fulfilled desire, in this case, aloneness. So that was the first a chapter ago, prior to the chapter we just completed, the equation of not enough is right here. And if I manage to frame it, and contrarily to the equation of enough, which is an emergence, it goes up. The equation of not enough comes down on our shoulders and with the weight of the world. And so a start with a liquid code was intended to liquefy our ignorance of the self. So, for example, the golden box lends into the instrument of ignorance that is a screech. And the screech becomes an unconscious archetype, which is the fallen angel. And the fallen angel has a resistance, a specific resistance, in its case, loneliness. So when I feel like I am a failure, fallen, not enough, then I'm going to generally resist loneliness. The other thing that we saw is how the liquid code has a different order. So what that means is unless I stop resisting loneliness, then my loneliness will become sadness. If I resist my sadness and the ways in which I sell out, it's going to become shame, and I'm going to go into sabotage. Unless I handle and stop resisting shame, I'm going to be afraid and turn victim. Unless I feel the fear and do it anyway, I'm going to go into hatred and be a child with a broken heart. And unless I feel the hatred, I'm going to become very angry because all my attempts to rise are never going to work. I'm going to be forever rising and never really risen. The equation of enough works a little bit differently in the sense that the number are doing their own thing. So it's not as sequential and linear as the liquid code. From 1, I jump into 2, and then I go backwards into 3 and 4 and 5, and land into 6. Also, for me to, like if I start with aloneness and I'm really comfortable being alone, then I am more and more conscious of who I am. Being conscious is when I actually transformed. My transformation brings me closer to the sacred. Being closer to sacredness, I become transparent, which of course wipes away the shame. And from being transparent, I come to freedom. So this is how this page works. And in one page, we manage to have the information of 2 chapters, which is how this page is called. Why printing this page? Because it helps me remember how I create the word, and by extension, the world in 6 days. So, of course, you're encouraged to print it if you haven't already, especially as we're going to go into a word and a couple of concepts that, of course, have for foundation the liquid code and the solid code, the ignorance versus the knowledge, the unconscious versus the conscious, the resistance versus the desire. So, any questions, comments before we move to the next part? Any part touched you?
Why can you speak to why the liquid code is female and the male is solid?
Ask again, please, Amanda. Why?
Why the female code
Oh,
is liquid and the male is solid?
yeah,
Is that why?
great question. I could answer biologically. In biology, the female sexuality is very dark. it's hidden. It's not showing up like the male sexuality that is very exposed and as such solid. So one is light, one is dark. And because of that, if you keep following that idea, man is good because we can see clearly the sexual parts. Woman is evil because she's hiding her sexuality. So there's a basis for that connection between the shadow and the womb of the tomb, which is very frightening, as is the shadow, versus the male sexuality, which is more open. Of course, this presupposes that we are the body, which is the biggest lie. But that's how I would answer it. It is female because that's dark.
Can I mention something here?
Of course.
Yeah, so one way of me looking at it is that also women have a little bit more innate capacity of emotional intelligence, and we are able to hold bigger space, at least as I see it, kind of like men develop emotionally way later on age, and I feel like the equivalent of a pot and water inside it. The pot is rigid, but the water can go inside because it has the capacity to be liquid and so it's like you have the capacity to transform. I see it that way, for example.
Lovely, lovely commentary. So, Amanda, does that answer your question? Both Anna's comment and my offering.
Yeah, sort of. It's a little more clear.
Okay. Very good. Okay.